Nara. So I imagine that Gio and Andal should have a pretty good time in lane. But T1's composition is looking really nicely well-rounded. A little bit more of a focus on the jungle and where Willer is going, and that worked out here as Magical Journey is taken. What is that? Flash was crazy, as Pays will be taken down for first blood, but Andal will be traded for immediately. Both of the supports picking up some kills, but it's Gio that's allowed to stick around in lane. So theoretically, it is actually a win for DRX.
I love the late.
All right, Emperor's Divide is going to throw UCAL back. There's the fear out from Ona, but it looks like UCAL is just fine. Still, Pays not actually able to click onto the lantern, does get it as the ward disappears, but still is going to be in a lot of trouble. Andal trying to throw out these auto attacks as Willer almost just dead to Keria the flash to pick up the kill on the enemy jungle. But it does mean that Gio is able to get some damage down. Man, that ramped up tower doing so much work, and T1 just outplay them.
Super calculated. This is my favorite part about this is the jungle diff, right? Like the Nocturne tries to do something mid, they don't even get a flash, and then down here Xin Zhao's like, I'm getting everything. End up getting that stun onto Aphelios here. Kites back though, has the Gravitum, and then Keria ignites, flashes for the auto, grabs the kill. Ignite value.
Beautifully done. Gets a level up as well. Make sure that he is definitely not dying.
He is okay. Keria is crazy.
Yeah. Willer is making his way in though, and Keria could be in a fair bit of trouble here. Doesn't have flash, and so that lantern not something you really want to be taking here. 3 Talon Strike does come on through, and Keria is likely to be very dead. UCAL can speed up Willer here, and the hook is not going to be enough. So UCAL even collecting a kill, and that is a bunch of money over to the mid laner of DRX now, spreading the wealth.
For T1 as we reset the gold to even. And I think okay, Faker once again.
Yeah, he's just going to be able to find UCAL. This time he'll flash, but that spell shield was so good to avoid the shockwave for Ona. And that is just a very dead Orianna as T1 back in the lead once again.
The OG shuffler.
He is.
And so UCAL's caught a little bit there. If he flashes the ultimate, very survivable, but does not. And flashes anyways and dies, so good spell shield from Ona, who does not have the flash. In fact, everyone except Keria for T1 still holding those.
Oh, Ona moving down here towards this dragon. Doesn't have the paranoia, but it's coming up pretty soon. Emperor's Divide as well on its way, as Pays will be able to take a lantern over towards Keria. T1 now looking to close in, 4v4 around this Drake. Let's see whether Ona can get in and try and steal this one away. Looks like Willer is committed. He is going to be able to take it there. As now Ona with another decent spell shield. It's Faker! Will find 2 with the Emperor's Divide and now turns his attention to Andal as Gio is still free hitting. A lot of damage now onto Ona and to Pays, who are split up from the rest of the team. The dash from Gio was so sexy, but it's Pays that takes him down. Willer needs one more auto. He'll get it and takes down Ona as well. It's a double as UCAL's in the back of the pit. Keria with the flay to try and take it down, and somehow it's a triple kill for this Xin Zhao.
Risk. Exactly, that's what I was going to say, is if he plays this well, it looks very scary, as Andal is not going to...
Yeah, Ona is down here as well. There's a Tempered Fate just to stop Pays from doing too much damage, and now Willer gets on in there. I don't know about this though, as he does get a little bit scared. That's a lot of damage though. Cosmic Binding as Pays is going to be taken down. It's Andal that gets the kill, but Gio's just not doing enough damage, and Ona picks himself up a double.
Plates, I believe, off of that, so it's something.
Oh dear, Keria Hex Flash in once again. Another hook beautifully set up by that Gravitum as Gio is just dead. That is Pays throwing down that Q with the Severum. The Magical Journey does come on through there, but it's a double kill as Andal's just going to fall down. Willer is now in a lot of trouble as Ona's moving in. And I think Willer's dead as well. Dustbringer comes on forward. Ona is going to hunt him down, but it's Pays with the damage. Triple kill for the Aphelios.
Well, you look at the comp and you're like, oh yes, the Thresh protects the Aphelios. It's like the Aphelios protects the Thresh. Like the Keria's going in and Pays is like, oh, you're pretty deep. Let me kill those guys for you. Like, hold on.
I'll take care of it, don't worry.
Oh my God, the play here from Keria is just out of control, and Pays spaces it well, does the boom boom.
And this was what Keria and Guma were known for, was this exact duo now.
Yeah, I mean 2021, 2022.
Yeah. As we're going to have a look at another battle here. T1 not liking the look of it. Tempered Fate does go down though. Great hook going to connect onto Willer as he's pulled back with the play, but Ona is already dead. And now Willer goes in one more time. Great shockwave and a double kill here for Gio. Never mind.
As Faker should be fine here. He's got his ult coming back. Oh, I thought he actually had it, but it's coming back up. He's got flash. Doran going to grab this turret down here at the same time.
It's just the passive going down, so that was the result of that one. Kind of cool.
And nothing
played there by Rich.
This should be a mid turret. They got that extra plate for Geo topside. The gold still significantly in favor of T1 here, but some of these really strong, late game.
Taken here by DRX. As let's see whether Owner can make his way in. There's the paranoia to start this fight off as in goes Doran. Gets into the backline. He just takes matters into his own hands. Down goes Andil already, and there is UCAL falling as well. Doran will be dying because he doesn't have that passive available anymore after that fight towards the bottom side. But still, T1 get control of the Dragon Pit. DRX unable to lock that one down. That should be one Dragon apiece and a one team fight for T1.
Yeah, still getting the kill onto Doran feels like a nice little pick-me-up after what was certainly looking to be a disaster, but T1 will be the big winners here as Geo in danger.
Yep, Faker gonna go forward, but does not quite get far enough to lock down Geo.
And Pace is like, man, I got the Gravitum on him. Will has already used his ultimate. There's just no front line there for him anymore.
Oh dear. Emperor's Divide is going to throw Rich back, and I think Rich is just dead. He is. Doran going to be able to grab some revenge here in his first kill of the game. Meanwhile, could be Owner in a little bit of trouble here, but does manage to click on the Lantern. Look at all of those wards. They were invested.
They still will get this turret on the top side, so it's not all for nothing here. And we didn't talk about it just yet. I hadn't really been looking too closely at it, but Rich is just going for the old Triforce build.
Yeah,
not doing the new tech, which we saw, I want to say Bin do.
Poised to get into position. Oh, I've seen this play before. All right.
Thresh isn't here this time, but they have the TP from Doran. Let's see what he can get done.
Yeah, Faker is going to shift some sands. Counter-Strike is going to work out here. Let's see whether Faker... He does have his ulti in about 7 seconds time, and Rich is able to take him down before that does actually come on through. Meanwhile, another fight on the other side as Geo is relatively untouched. Red-white guns from Paze, but he's unable to survive. And now Doran is surrounded. Tempered Fate doing nothing at all as he pulls back UCAL, but he's got an arm guard to break. And it is 3-0 in favor of DRX.
I mean, we've called Faker the Matador for a reason. Like, this guy has pulled people around the map. He's got his side lane cape out, but this one backfires completely on Baron spawn. Yunara is going to be a contest and a TP.
Rich is very, very healthy. Hook is going to connect onto said Rich, as the rest of DRX are a little bit split in their decision-making. Faker trying to get in there, Empress Divide, and he sweeps the floor with them. There's the steal we were talking about, and you do not take Baron in the face of T1.
I mean, that was Faker getting caught inside, so it always ends up being a positive for T1, right? He never dies without a reason. Perhaps this reason came a little bit later than DRX anticipated, because he dies to TP back in to stop the greedy Baron. He joined his teammates to use the magical journey to make sure even with low health bars they get out. As Paze collapsed on again.
Oh dear. Not going to be able to click that Lantern this time around as Ando, great sidestep on the hook as well as Tempered Fate holds Keria in position. But now Owner diving on forward. Doran gets there as well. The stun does come on through and Keria still going in. It is going to be Owner going down though, and now they're just hiding. Geo able to take down Keria in the end, and now UCAL comes on over. Faker goes golden just to see the lay of the land, and he does not like the look of it as the Sand Soldiers hit the air and Doran hits the ground. It's an ace for DRX this time. You've heard of the double down, Wolf. What about the triple down?
All right, well, this is a bit outdated now, but we watched Faker save the game moments before, which is why it was really cool. We're like, wow, yeah, they got Baron. This is going to be insane. All right, Owner gets the secure. But then...
I kind of want to know what happens here.
Distances means they have a little leeway here, a little bit of play around this one. UCAL is zoning as if he has ult, but he certainly does not.
Well, Rich on an angle here as Ando can also try and make his way in. We'll see whether the Tempered Fate is not actually available as Doran dives on forward. Geo gets himself out of the way though. It's a lot of damage towards Doran, who doesn't really have too much backup. Meanwhile, there's another fight on the other side, and the hook is going to connect onto Willa. Down he will go, and the Zion is put into the passive, and so he's not even killed, and T1 just say thanks for the leash.
Yeah, this was, I think, for DRX a step too far. Joker may have used all his coach comms before this one, because I think the call definitely should have been to play around vision and to force T1 into you and grab another Baron. It looks like they're going to grab their second Dragon off the game.
Man, this game is still very, very close, but with the Baron now available for the next 2 minutes on T1.
Yeah, this is a really I mean, okay, this is a crazy
That is a magical journey as they're into the blender. Down goes Andil, immediately punished for that one as the paranoia comes on through. Willa trying to keep himself alive there as Rich just goes golden and then goes dead. Now Faker finds the Emperor's Divide. Yukal's going to flash it, but Jiu, he's still going to take so much damage. Doran uses the ulti to gap close. That was cute as it's a triple for Pays. And there is the end of the game.
This team, this DRX team, looks like they got so much potential this year, but once again get outclassed by one of our best teams here in the LCK in T1. T1 made a few mistakes, a little bit bullish on some of their plays there towards the latter half of the mid game, but ultimately still do make the right calls, disengage from that Baron, get the reset, and look at the timing on the respawn, looking for Andil.
Making sure they take him down one more time. Keria says, that's my skin. And it is. I mean, Andil's he's just representing, you know? And it is the best bard skin in the game.
It's going to be a little bit trickier. I'm not saying this is unplayable, but it's a little bit trickier here. This is probably going to be one of those lanes where you see Andil press heal at level 1 to try to see if he can get in there and avoid some of that damage from Nico. Try to do anything you can. Owner is here. He's like, you know what? That's too much damage. I'm looking for something.
Well, let's see whether this dive is going to work. It's a little bit dicey, but Owner is making his way in anyway. There's the headbutt out. His chains are not going to land. Still, they're looking for it, wanting to find that angle. Of course, long cooldown on the headbutt for now, as Owner is going to get taken down first. And there is a very dead Kaiser as well. What the hell was that?
I mean, when I watched them stay after the initial chains combo was set up, I was like, am I missing something here? I think they can't do it. It'd be insane. Like, look, he does not commit. But still, could have been insane if he actually gets that collapse. It's going to be a free dragon. That dragon smite will give Willer level 6, I believe. Should be enough experience there. In fact, not even going to smite.
There he goes. Just
level
knows.
6.
Got it locked down. So, like you say, level 6, almost double the farm of Owner here. Not in the end, as Faker does actually close in on him here. Let's see. There's a Pulverize just to try and interrupt. And the Unbreakable Will is now there for Owner. Still not a whole lot to fight for here in this river, unless you talk about a crab being a powerful thing. As in goes Andil, triple Pulverize. Pop Blossom there to answer, but it's only onto the cow, as Owner is just unkillable with that ultimate running. The rest of DRX are looking for him, though, and down will go the Silas, and Keria pops as well. Once the ultimate wears off, I guess the Silas is able to be taken down.
And I'll even know about the OG trilogy of Star Wars.
I imagine, like, you know, it's been re-released so many times that they have to, right?
I hope so.
Surely. As Rich is going to be looking for a little bit of an engage onto Doran here, who's kiting this one out quite nicely. Yukal moving on over those. There's a seismic shove flash into an ulti that hits the air. And Doran is still going to be able to walk his way out, but does have to expend the flash in order to do so. Slice. That's how you do it.
Slice flash, you know. He's like, oh, I can flash a dice.
Is this actually the latest grubs that we've had ever?
Probably. In the jungle, and they're just continuing to just pinch sides. Faker does not have teleport, right? So if he gets caught, he is in big trouble. As Rich, speaking of getting caught.
Yeah, he's going to get walloped, and Rich is just dead. Solo bolo there for Doran. Yeah,
first turret of the game.
That's a lot of extra money here over to T1. That is completely evening out the gold lead that DRX had put together for themselves.
Yeah, this is really rough. It was a bit all in to make that play topside. Gets slowed here. And red buff actually for Doran. So he is just going to run him down. Gets the mega. And you can see he tries to dash.
He just walks at him and he's dead.
Toss up.
There we go.
Got him, he says. See, like, he had the kills, he had the lead, but it hasn't translated into second item spike. And his tier obviously is a ways away from finishing. And we're only 15.5 minutes in, but it feels like this Corki, you know, was so far ahead. And then you look at the items, you're like, if they can slow this down, T1 absolutely have a fight here.
Yeah, can't quite see the health bar on that dragon for now, as Owner does pick up that Unbreakable Will one more time. Yukal is going to block off the entry as the steal does not come on in. Now Willer looks for the angle. The Unbreakable Will is up, and there is the public execution for Willer into the backline. Meanwhile, Doran finds a gigantic Gnar to take down the cow, and DRX are just looking to exit the fight. There's the dash cannon from Keria wanting to try and get on in there, but the flash forward from Doran, it just gets a flash from the enemy.
Gets the big wallop. Now let's see if he gets out of here, though. A bit of a caster curse. Teleport?
Yeah, there's a shove, though, so not going to be getting out of this one. The mini Gnar that could. Yukal takes a fair bit of damage, but he'll be all right. Does have the Seraph's shield. And so a little bit unfortunate. Maybe that's cast.
Yukal dead.
Now, yeah, there's a flash in. Yukal's really dead.
All right. And then in live,
okay, got another battle here as Public Execution is stolen away. Andal is likely to be very dead. Voidseeker is actually what finishes it off there. Pays on the board now with his first kill of the game.
T1 as the observer showcase here. That turret is still alive.
Well, Andal is going to park himself alongside Gio yet again. As Pays and Keria, they do have Owner there. Public Execution connects onto the cow. Flash out from Andal is going to get him to relative safety. And now Faker dealing with Rich and with Willa. And Rich is going to be able to take him down this time with the help of his friends. Anyway.
That should be the mid turret, though, in that exchange. Big W for DRX here.
Yeah, Willa actually diving on in for this one as well. And the jungle ambassador we saw already. I mean, Lucid demonstrated exactly how dangerous the pick can be.
And we're just going to trade turrets here on top lane, which is fine. Top and bottom, that is to say, by top laners. But this is a big win for DRX because this opens up the map significantly for Willer. He's been a level up this whole game. That remains the case. Here.
Yeah, they are a lot of pings. So I think DRX has an idea of what's going on, but this Baron is going down so quickly. Andal booking it to get himself in, but I think it's just gone. Highway robbery as they take it away. Keria off to the side. Willer is going to catch him as now Yukal making his way forward. Rich in the front line as he flashes on forward, slices, dices. There's the ulti from Willer. So sick on the play as they dive on top of Pays, who look to get over the wall. The cow is going to get sacrificed, but the Baron is not worth this much money anymore. And they lose a couple of deaths and sacrifice the Mountain Soul.
The jungler here for DRX is going to smite this dragon away. You have to imagine no way for Owner to get in. 1400 the smite, and Mountain Soul belongs to the underdogs as maybe they get even more.
Yeah, here's a teleport in. As Sterix is now completed here for Rich. He's looking to try and kill Doran. The mini Gnar that could. Cannot. Not this time. As he'll get shoved and destroyed. Everything, and then everyone kind of got to vacate the area as Faker is behind the turret. T1 kind of closing in on DRX for the moment, but look at that fresh shield that they've got for themselves.
It's going to feel fantastic in scrappy fights, which feels like every fight has been. Gio trying to bait them.
Oh dear, Headbutt Pulverize does come on through. There is the Public Execution, and Keria could do absolutely nothing about it. Owner tries to steal away the dominance. The Gnar is massive though from Doran. Can he save the fight? The answer is no. Rich is a huge, huge crocodile, and he'll just cut up T1. DRX are looking to head towards game number 3, Wolf.
It looks
despite
like it.
Doran's best efforts.
And it looks like even though Gio dies here, it's going to be a full rout of T1. Faker the last to fall. Been engaged normally, but I don't think he will. In fact, I think this Baron is probably just gone.
Well, Realm Warp was used just to see what was going on at the Baron. They do manage to get the Scryer out there as well. Shove back onto Owner. He now has the Unbreakable Will, which is so scary. But look at this, DRX just keeping them at bay. The cow throws down that ulti, presses Pulverize for fun, and DRX can take a Baron and move on now towards this Elder to make this Weaver's Wall work. As it is available, Doran.
Now.
Yeah, not actually going to be able to interrupt that. It's at the Public Execution onto Faker, who gets exhausted and cut down where he stands. Doran trying to find it, gets a double knock into the wall, as Andal will be the one taken out first. Willa still trying to get this work done, but it's Doran that's dead. And the Elder Dragon now getting turned on by DRX with the man advantage. Owner is still there with his smite available, and Pays is up and available as well. Can they lock down Yukal? That's the question. The flash out from Pays to avoid getting hit, but Owner is just going to get slaughtered. And DRX, I think they're doing it. They're taking the Elder Dragon, and this could be the way that they win this game.
I mean, such a patient fight from DRX was phenomenal control.
Man, I really want to hear what Joker says. If DRX wins this game, oh my goodness. He's just going to be so happy, isn't he?
I think he might be out of coach comms this
Oh, yeah, sorry. But I mean, like, but afterwards.
Oh, sure.
You know, yeah,
oh,
after
yeah,
the
no,
game.
for sure.
After the game.
Absolutely.
He's not going to be able to do another coach voice.
Yeah, I think, you know, the amount of time T1 was able to buy at the end of that fight might give them one more attempt to just, like, wave clear here. But Faker still doesn't have his actualizer. I think this is just an inevitable loss here.
Man,
UCal's got that wave pushing mid, and this inhibitor is not long for this world.
UCal is really making Talia look like a great champion in this game. He's just having a brilliant performance. As now with the Elder, going to be very difficult to stop this one as Giu just kills Faker. Okay, Pop Blossom now being set up, but Giu is able to avoid it. Keria is going to get eaten by a dragon. Doran going to follow suit, and DRX will obliterate them as they now take down the Nexus turrets and send us to a Game 3 versus T1. Renata comes in very obviously.
Yeah, I want to say Kalista, or sorry, not Kalista, the Syndra is 0-2 so far here at the LCK Cup. We saw it almost win, I believe it was even yesterday.
Voice over and over again. The team that really has made the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wise. I feel like they prepped this, you know, and every other team, not every other team, but a lot of other teams are just simply not utilizing it, which is fair because every team has their own style. But when you have this added benefit, if you prep it well and you don't overdo it,
picks it up, and Vaultbreaker gets him out of the Cataclysm as well. Now Doran looking to try and close this one in. There is, oh no, delivers him over the cease and desist, comes down. They're looking to try and kill Doran, and they do manage to take him out. First blood over to Willa, as now Ona desperately trying to pick it up, and he will be able to at least get rid of the enemy jungler as body slam avoided with a swift flash from Ona, and between worlds goes Faker to get out of the way of UCal.
Got the scatter out with the bait.
And now T1 looking for an angle here. Handshake onto Willa is going to miss. The Fate's Call also kind of goes wide here as now Pays in a bit of trouble, but Faker makes his way over. Cease and Desist comes in. The bailout is successful, but it's Giu that takes him down in the end. And Andil, not long for the world. That is Faker collecting that kill. It's a double for the GOAT. And T1 well and truly on the board now.
Even if T1 hit all those things, the result ends up being a lot more clean for them, but it doesn't matter when Faker just shows up and he's like, thank you for
the Drake, but it is going to reset.
Giu gets his wave pushed in. He can actually kind of sandwich with his ultimate. T1 have to back away. They're going to lose scuttle control here as well in just a moment.
Don't know about this from Giu as he does move into this crush. Willa gets on top though. Cease and desist once again as Pays not going to get bailed out this time. Handshake comes forward as Giu just trying to stand his ground. The flash has to be used from Ona to get himself out of the way as Andil is going to hold him in position, and down goes the Jarvan. Well, out goes the Jarvan for the moment, and is going to dodge a bunch of abilities before he is inevitably dead. There it is. UCal locks down that kill.
Team fights are great. His early skirmishing has been phenomenal this season, as this is a very aggressive little look in. I don't even want to call it contest from T1.
Yeah, Pays is going to move on forward. There's between worlds. Is Andil going to be the target? He is taken out. Faker very low on mana, but Willa is looking to try and catch up to him. Let's see whether they can get that one done as UCal is already dead. Out goes Willa, but in goes Giu, and Faker is going to survive. Woo! A couple of swift kills here for T1 in trade for the Dragon.
All right, well, it ends up being a real contest in the end. Not able to get the objective, as you say, but some money is definitely feeling pretty nice for them. They'll take a 700 gold lead. Rich, maybe some more money.
Yeah, he does have flash, does use it and dies. No more coach voice here for DRX, I believe. Using all of them very, very quickly here as Willa wanting to chase down Doran. Let's see whether he does connect that Vault Breaker, and he will. Cease and Desist is up in 7 seconds time, but I don't think he will need it as Doran is just dead, punched to the face.
And T1 trying to contest here in this choke. UCal can control so much space.
And Andil is just trying to hold them at bay here. Not providing himself as a target, but always getting information where he can. Teleport in for the Gwen, as now Pays. Just dashing around the fight here. Tries to get a few sticks into Andil.
Rich just wasn't involved at all, just hit himself.
Well, Faker goes between the worlds. Flash out from UCal, respecting the damage potential of this Aurora. As now Giu, possibly in trouble, throws down the barrier to try and keep himself up. As now Willa looks to get in there. There's the flash, gets on top of Pays, and they will be able to get that hostile takeover out of Keria, but it's dodged so beautifully by Giu. He does go down in the end, but it's a trade of 80 carries. Ona's going to go down as well as Willa, surviving for a very long time, but it's Faker with the cleanup. He comes in, takes down the enemy jungler, and it's a 3-for-2 in favor of T1.
Pushing T1 around the map. It's really impressive to watch, despite the gold deficit, despite that loss in the last team fight. They are just going to keep trying to force, and it's working well so far at the start of this Dragon. Rich rotates down, Doran isn't here. I don't think this fight is possible for T1. It's not playable. A free Dragon.
Yep, they do just give it up.
Dragons later, our comp is starting to really gain some steam here. This 4-kill Aurora. Looking for UCal.
Yeah, between worlds goes Faker, and dead UCal in an instant. Willow was thinking about trying to back him up, but he was, yeah, he was already on the floor.
That's complete. He just has so much burst. They know that even if Willer ults, that they're pretty safe to do this. They also had Faker's flash. They can just drop this and take this mid turret now.
Yeah, should be able to. There is the Rift Herald going down, so that is going to be Shelly charging in. FaZe is going to turn up yet again as the Crystalline Overgrowth does go down. And DRX move forward. They should be able to take down this outer turret. Okay, there's a Cataclysm from Ona. Gio still inside at hostile takeover, and they're just fighting each other. As Gio survives for such a long time, it is Faker going down first. Yukao collects that kill. Still has his little shield available, but it is 2 on the floor on the DRX side, and T1, they successfully avenge their turret.
They're going to actually try to just send it on this Baron, and I think positioning is going to be everything.
That's a bit crazy, as in goes Doran looking for the angle here. Yukao, as soon as someone's in melee range, there's just not a whole lot he can do. And T1, they stayed on this Baron. It's down to 50%. Ando looking to make his way in. Rich just being frustrating here as they show Doran the door. He gets onto this Baron one more time. It's down to 3,000.
6 seconds on Rich's ult, but he doesn't have it.
Yep, the barrel comes in, and that is going to be FaZe locking down this Baron. T1 and 20-minute Barons, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty impressive. And now Gio looking to try and take down FaZe. That is Keria also falling. And Rich,
and the
he's teleporting. He wants to try and find this angle. Doesn't have the ulti, but he does have barrels, and he takes down FaZe. Doran now underneath this turret is having to deal with this very large Gragas. Owner is there to defend, and I don't know whether it's quite going to be enough because DRX are closing in. There's Willa. Down goes the Gwen. The Gragas is going to be sacrificed, though, and Faker turns up. And this is just a bloodbath. It's a mess on both sides.
Sealed the deal, but enough time is bought. Gio finally shows back up here. Rich flashes in, then goes for the TP to cut them off, and just barely through some heroics from Jarvan and this Aurora. Owner and Faker save them.
And in the meantime, we have even more stuff happening. Owner goes in, Willa down very, very low, but he has now a door to try and keep him safe. The culling is just going to split off this fight as the Fates call does go down, but Keria not actually going to utilize it. There is a soul point on the table here for DRX, but T1 have started off this Dragon. And Ando looking a little worse for wear. Some big buttons on cooldown on both sides. I mean, but it's Willa being so low that means that it's just impossible.
I mean, DRX, it feels truly they've reached their expiration date with this composition, and yet they just keep trying to find these angles, and sometimes they nearly do. They nearly do. They make it so close. They make it so competitive. This Baron, relatively low on the power play here. 20 seconds left on it. It's only at 400. But the fights they keep taking, these scrappy ones with the aggressive scatters, the Violts, the crazy Gragas casts from Rich, it gets tougher and tougher as these resistances start to come through on any Mountain Drake picked up, as these items start to come through on these fed carries. I mean, this Gwen is so big, almost too big to fail already. Looking for the ult now, and Owner's there. They're going to have to just send it mid, I think.
Yep, DRX looking to try and go for a bit of a cross-match because they know that Rich is just very, very dead. Doesn't have the cast, doesn't have a chance, and he is going to be taken out for Rich, so he can get anywhere he wants in 20 seconds time. And teleport going to be used here for Yukao to try and defend this outer turret, but I mean, there's 4 people here. I don't know about this one, as Yukao just put immediately into the Cataclysm after the flash. He is able to throw down a bunch of damage, but FaZe is able to shrug it off, and it's a double kill for Doran.
It wasn't the right call to look for the TP defend of the turret. They didn't have the tools. If they had a Gragas there, who's going to spawn now, I think that would have been a realistic option. He's got Body Slam, he's got the cast, he can peel. They thought the ROM would be enough. It absolutely was not. And as a result, it's a dead Syndra and a second turret to fall in the mid lane. And there is no defending this one. T1 pulling ahead massively now, 5.5k the advantage.
Puts it down now as they look to try and get rid of this turret first. Scatter the Weak does come in. There's the culling as Doran goes golden, but they just take down the turret. In the meantime, teleports coming in from everywhere, and Ona from over the wall. Gio able to dash out of the way again from some more buttons, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Willer is also limping out of the fight. Yukao takes down Faker though. DRX, the rest of them are just melting. Ona gonna grab a double. Doran dashing towards Yukao to get rid of him again. Here on DRX, it is another Baron for T1.
DRX have been scrapping and fighting and forcing this whole game. They've been trying to hold on to the tempo. They've been trying to wrestle it back. Already picked up. And I think that was the final fight. I think that was the game-winning moment for T1. Great defense. The Death Cap Faker was desperately trying to put together. He's got it now.
Yeah, and so does Yukao, but I just don't feel like it's going to
not the same
have
kind of impact.
Same gravity. Exactly right, Wolf. And yeah, just a few thumbs up as the inner turret is going to inevitably fall.
Jiu does not have flash, so difficult for him to layer damage in. It's a winnable fight, even without Faker, and if you just sit back and lose the turrets, okay, hold on, Owner.
Yeah, Scatter the Weak is going to connect. Owner is going down very, very low. Does have GA, and it does get procced by a big old cask from Rich. But still,
I think Owner might be okay with that because Faker's back now and they still have a minute left of Baron. They can now siege the base freely, and with no cast to deal with, it's pretty safe.
Yeah, exactly right. And they should be able to now get rid of this inhibitor turret. The rest of them had to go back to the fountain because they were looking worse for wear after that fight. They do get their health bars back though. DRX not giving up without a fight. As Willa diving on in. Good handshake there from Keria, but the culling is going to soften him up. There's the Fate's Call, has to be thrown through as T1 considering a re-engage. Scatter the Weak connects, lands onto Faker here, takes once again so much damage. Hostile takeover, tries to get avoided, cease and desist though, onto Pays. The GA comes through now for Willa as now Rich moves away from Doran to try and join the rest of the fight. And they're chasing, but these health bars are so low, and Pays is so mobile. It's such a difficult moment.
Oh, Doran's 2 levels up. They're going to try to collapse on him here, but good luck.
Yeah, the needlework comes out. Out goes Willa because he knows it's only a couple of those, and he's just dead. The rest of DRX are able to navigate it, but look at this, T1, they were the ones running away before, and now they are looking to try and take down another inhibitor in the enemy base.
I mean, DRX from a thread, hanging on in this game, looking for Pays now.
Pays, I think he's just dead. The handshake goes wide, the bailout doesn't work, and now they're going to chase down Keria. There's the Scatter the Weak, and Force of Will be able to take him down.
I mean, a few more kills, and they could actually turn this game around in Scrappy, but they have been so well coordinated, and this is without Joker's help this time.
Yeah, no more coach voice available unless they start using T1's coach voice options. Because I don't know whether they've used too many of those. As Willa now starting a fight once again. There's the cast, but down goes Willa. Owner is still standing as Jiu trying to finish him off. Faker goes between the worlds and will be able to get himself to safety.
Should be able to get here, no problem. And also has his ultimate to push, stop the push.
Yeah, Rich, oh my goodness, that burst damage absolutely insane. As Doran diving on in, Willa looks for the angle, great handshake onto the Vice. Doran thrown around like a ragdoll. Great use of the body slam, but Doran should still be able to kill him. He goes golden just to buy some space, but Yukal's dead. Both solo laners down, and T1 have decided that it's time to win. As Jiu not able to keep himself alive this time. It's Pays that locks down the kill, and this time it's only Willa that survives.
And top damage in the fight goes to Jarvan for T1.
That's insanity.
And unfortunately, the fight was a bit disjointed there for DRX. It needed to be a desperate one. Willer's ultimate on the wrong side. And T1 walk away victors on what was a closer game that I think that it had any right to be.
Oh dear. Willer is very, very dead. Nexus turret's going down, and T1, they will finish this one off 29-15 in a 34-minute game. Are you not entertained? As this was a bloodbath from game 1.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.